Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. It's been an exciting week for Harry Potter, in particular the upcoming show, with a wave of new updates hitting the internet. In today's video, we'll be breaking it all down, from comments by Chris Columbus, director of the original film series, to remarks from the show's producer Mark Mylod, plus a first look at the newly cast Weasley family, and even some fresh set leaks from the past 48 hours. Anyway, I won't dawdle any longer, let's dive in. The new Weasleys. At long last, it looks as though the Weasley family is finally starting to come together. Until now, we only knew about Ron. But in the last week or two, both the official Harry Potter and the HBO Max pages revealed 4 more of the Weasley children. Joining Alistair Stout as Ron Weasley, we now have Tristan Harland as Fred Weasley, Gabriel Harland as George Weasley, Ruari Spooner as Percy Weasley, and Gracie Cochran as Ginny Weasley. And of course, they'll be joining Catherine Parkinson, who was previously announced as Molly Weasley. What makes this reveal so exciting is that we finally get to see the Weasley siblings taking shape, and I've got to say, it's a whole lot of red hair. The casting notes even tease that the burrow is nearly full, which makes me wonder if we might be seeing more of Charlie and Bill sooner rather than later. In fact, HBO even slipped in a little tease about Charlie being in Romania for now, but joining us soon. That's interesting, because while he doesn't appear until later books, the show filming back-to-back seasons might allow him to show up earlier. As for the new cast, Ruari Spooner has a strong theatre background with roles in productions like Twelfth Night and The Tempest. And Tristan and Gabriel Harland, real-life twins, will take on the roles of Fred and George. They've both appeared in The Last Kingdom, and it's fitting to see them bring their real sibling chemistry into the wizarding world. I just wonder if they met at the audition like the old Fred and George. Gracie Cochran has experience on both stage and screen, with credits ranging from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang to a small role in Tim Burton's Beetlejuice. She's also spoken about her love for the Harry Potter series, calling Goblet of Fire her favourite. One thing fans will be paying close attention to is how true these characters remain to the books, especially Percy, whose ministry storyline was almost cut completely from the films, and Ginny, who was famously underwritten compared to her fiery, confident book counterpart. This show has a real chance to correct those portrayals and give the Weasley siblings the depth they deserve. At the end of the day, I think this group looks pretty good. They match the spirit of the characters, and more importantly, they've nailed the red hair. The Weasley family is finally coming together, and I can't wait to see how they bring these roles to life when the show is finally released. And if that wasn't exciting enough, today we actually got our very first behind-the-scenes look at the Weasleys in action, thanks to a batch of leaked photos straight from the set. The leaked photos appear to show the filming taking place at King's Cross Station, one of the most iconic locations in the entire series. The production team actually boarded up large parts of the station to keep things under wraps, but naturally a few images managed to slip out, and they give us a real taste of how the Weasleys are going to look on screen. In the photos, we can see Molly Weasley, played by Catherine Parkinson, looking absolutely perfect for the role. Cheerful, warm, and exactly the kind of presence you'd hope for in the matriarch of the Weasley family. On a personal level, I'm a huge fan of Parkinson, and I was excited when I heard about her involvement. We also get glimpses of Fred and George already joking around, which feels completely on brand, plus shots of Ron and Ginny together. And if you look closely at Ron's costume, you can even spot his Chudley Cannon shirt, a brilliant detail straight out of the books that the films never really highlighted. There's also a quick look at Ginny's styling, which leans heavily into early 90s fashion, really nailing the time period of Philosopher's Stone set in 1991. Hopefully they can nail her character's personality just as much as her fashion sense. Interestingly, there's no sign of Percy in the leaked photos, though that doesn't necessarily mean he wasn't there. It's possible that the images just didn't capture him, or that the focus for the day was on Ron, Ginny, Fred, George, and Molly. And of course, Harry himself wasn't visible in these leaks either, so we're almost certainly only seeing a small fraction of what was filmed. Either way, it's incredibly exciting to get these first glimpses. Between the official casting reveals and these on-location shots, the Weasley family is finally starting to feel real. And it looks like HBO is committed to bringing them to life with more attention to detail than the films ever managed. Chris Columbus weighs in. We also heard this week from Chris Columbus, the iconic director responsible for the original Harry Potter films with Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. And while Chris made it very clear that he won't be returning to the director's chair, he expressed genuine excitement about the HBO project, particularly because the TV format offers something the films never could. In his words, That's what makes this series so exciting. they'll have time to go deeper, to really explore everything from the books. Columbus explained that countless moments and details from the novels had to be cut from the films simply because of runtime limits. And yeah, Chris, I think the fans noticed. A long-form series, however, finally has the breathing room to bring those missing elements to life. He also admitted to feeling a wave of nostalgia as new set photos surfaced from familiar locations like Leavesden Studios and King's Cross Station. When I see those photos of Leavesden or King's Cross, I get chills. It's déjà vu. The magic is still alive. While Columbus isn't directly involved in the reboot, his comments show clear optimism that the HBO series can capture the depth and detail that the films never had a chance to. And it certainly can't hurt to get the green light from the man that started it all. Mark Mylod. Columbus may not be returning, but his optimism about the series sets the stage perfectly for another major creative voice shaping the reboot, Mark Mylod. Mylod, who's directing the opening episodes, recently said he wants the show to feel more realistic. And while that sort of comment might sound strange when referring to a world full of spells and flying broomsticks, what he really meant is that the series will minimize CGI and rely more on practical effects and in-camera techniques. And honestly, that approach fits the books perfectly. Rowling's world was always a balance of the extraordinary and the ordinary. Hogwarts was magical, yes, but it also felt like a very real, drafty old castle. And using tangible sets and practical effects might reinforce that grounded, lived-in magic in a way CGI never quite can. The original films leaned on this too, using animatronics like Buckbeak, Fawkes and Aragog alongside digital effects, creating a world that felt strikingly real. If the new series follows suit, it could tap into the same sense of nostalgia fans associate with the originals. Budget. Last up, I want to talk budget. Rumours circulating suggest that the Harry Potter HBO series has a reported $1.2 billion budget, making it the most expensive TV show ever made. For comparison, Rings of Power spent $1 billion, and even Game of Thrones didn't come close. The money is spread over a 10-year plan, but it's going into practical effects, top-tier actors, and massive new sets. I mean, they're basically building an entire mini-city just for the show. When you think about it, the original 8 films together cost about the same. But here we're getting multiple seasons of content instead of just 8 movies. This is a big investment for what is effectively still a huge gamble, but it's encouraging to see Warner Bros. Going all in before the first episode even airs. What do you guys think? Are you excited for the show? And more importantly, are any of the naysayers out there starting to warm up to it? Until next time, remember, it does not do to dwell on dreams and to forget to live.